Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Scam Economy Post Show. I am your host, Matt Binder, and I thought, what am I talking about? It's already 11:10 here. I hope you all enjoyed that episode of Scam Economy. Scam Economy episode number 25, a milestone episode. Pretty much, next episode will be me having been doing Scam Economy for half a year. Which is great. I've been really enjoying doing this show. The show has really taken off, and I'm glad to be here. And I hope you all enjoyed that. And I thank you all again for your patience in the episode was a day and a few hours later than usual. But there was something happened, and I felt like it would be weird for me to release that piece with that exclusive on Helium, and then have this episode that came out either the same day or the day before or the day after, and didn't mention what I was working on while this episode was coming out. It would be weird, and I think that was necessary to add. Because also it came out of working on this episode. So I think to tie it all together, I was really happy I was able to do that. And thank you all so much for, your support of this show, sharing the piece that came out today. Yeah, let's do it. It's a little bit later than usual because, again, after I published the report and had to, monitor everything and follow up and update things, and I had someone I reached out to get back to me, and I had to update the piece. After all that, then I had the time to add the commentary up top for the main episode. So it was a little bit later by the time I got to export it, which is why we were late. But the post show is ready to go. Let's do this. Phone lines are open if you would like to call in. Just open up Skype, go to Doomed Live, search Doomed Live, I should say. One word, Doomed Live. Ta-da! And you can call in to this episode. While I have you, let's, where was that, there was a super chat that I saw on the main episode. Oh my God, do I not have it on me? I want to make sure I get the super chats. Of course, you could drop a super chat in this episode, and we can, and I'll read your super chats. Just giving people time to get in for a second into the stream and open up their Skype. And if we got it's a Friday night. It's not the usual night we do the show. I can already tell the audience for the live stream is a little bit smaller than usual. If there's not any callers, don't worry. We could talk about plenty of stuff. There's tons and tons to talk about. But first, I want to make sure I don't lose this super chat that was on the first half of the episode. Where is it? Oh, here we go. There was more than one, actually. Good thing I got to it. Me Foon, or Me Fun, or Me Funny, with a $10 super chat, left is best. Thank you so much. And Famous Horse with a super chat, just dropping a super chat as a little tip, bonus, thanks, whatever you want to call it to me. Really appreciate it. And while I'm doing this, why don't I shout out the patrons who joined since the last episode of Scam Economy. Let's roll back here. Drew F, Val V, LH, George C, and Mary Ellen C. Thank you so much to all of you for supporting the show by subscribing to the Patreon page at patreon.com/Matt Binder. I appreciate everyone who watches, views, consumes my content in any way, shape, or form. But I truly mean it when I say that it's only possible by the people. It's only made possible by the people who join the Patreon page. and to an extent too, everyone else who contributes via YouTube Super Chat, Twitch. Oh, don't forget the Twitch. The subscriptions via Prime. Don't forget to resubscribe too. We already got Red on Red 1 subscribe via Prime. Thank you so much. And Gorbinos Quest subscribe via Prime. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Oh, Zoe 911 resubscriber at Prime, a subscriber for 9 months. Zoe, wow. Wow, Zoe, thank you so much. Anyway, let's Binder is killing me. What did I can you tell me me funny? How do I say your username? Binder is killing. What is the username here? M3 says, gee, he looks tired. I'm a little bit exhausted. It's been a truly nonstop 48 hours. When it's a combination of getting all the material. If you definitely check out the piece so you can see just how much is there. It's a lot. And then on top of that, trying to make sure you contact everyone, get in touch with everyone you need to talk to. Do that without getting scooped or something leaking. Also, due to the nature of what this was for the point of the piece, I needed to archive a lot of content because obviously the content was going to be changed or removed. So I needed to make sure that everything that I used as a source was archived so I can prove it, not to hold it over anyone's head, but if there's any dispute, to prove that it was there. Japanese actor was in Seven Samurai, so it's Mifune. Mifune. Okay, I'll remember that now. Mifune. Cool. All right, what do you guys want to do? No call. This is the rarest live stream ever. Usually I'm bombarded with calls. I'm leaving the literally ending the stream after 3-4 hours, and there's still people calling in. Tonight we got crickets. All right. I'll take it. So let's pull something up here to talk about. Let me grab a clip. Let me or if you got any questions about the episode, or if you guys want to, feel free. This is a rare opportunity, it seems. Oh, here we go. Look who it is. We do got some calls. Maybe everyone's taking a minute to call in via Skype. Oh, they're all coming in. Of course, they're all coming in now. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Matt?
Hey, it is
from Jamaica.
Dave from Jamaica. How are you doing, my friend? What would you like to talk about today?
Well, I guess I was going to ask some questions then.
Let's do it.
Because this is sounding, as you said, it sounds like Herbalife, but if even worse, because I think this will actually, who's going to build Helium out then? Or is it going to actually completely crash and burn since this has been revealed?
I don't know. They've since removed their, the Lime logo from their website. And along with Lime, they removed Salesforce because apparently they didn't have I reached out to Salesforce. I think The Verge got an answer from Salesforce a few hours after my article dropped. And Salesforce claimed they didn't have a relationship with Helium either, yet Helium was touting them along with Lime. So basically now we just got some of these like really small companies on Helium's website as their customers. Clearly there's not a lot of people paying for the network. The thing here is like, I think it's a thing that like, I think it was something that, and it sounds like a good idea. And then you actually try to roll it out and it's like, who are you competing with? Well, you're competing with like, if you actually build out the network, who are you competing with? You're competing with like the giant telecommunication companies. You can't compete with like Verizon and like Comcast and those companies. First of all, they all have massive
Infrastructure.
infrastructure, and that's buoyed by them working with government agencies, which you as a small startup are not going to have. And I'm sure Helium would say something like, "Oh well, the point of us is that we cover the spots where you're not getting Wi-Fi and your 5G connection isn't any good, or it's not even there isn't any, and like we'll be able to cover places that other company that like even the telecommunication companies don't cover." But I mean, they will, like even if you
Only a matter of time.
right, even if you pull it off, you're only providing coverage for a gap that's going to be there for a short period of time. Like, listen, as much as I do not like Elon Musk and think he's a big hype man in everything he does, from what I understand, Starlink, his satellite internet service, while it's expensive and requires additional equipment for each the individual to have, or an area to have, the actual connection seems to work, and it seems to be a decent service if you can afford it and you have the hardware. So even like friggin' if Elon Musk is gonna eat into your lunch too. And like your whole thing too is that you don't own the infrastructure, right? Your whole thing is that it's
Right,
like it's a mesh network. It's decentralized. You're depending on the people who own those hotspots. I mean, you're not going to be able to provide then the stability of when those telecom companies or Starlink do take more and more of your market. And that's just
one of those. It's
go
one
ahead.
of those that sound good to the layman, but as you said, as you dig into it, it doesn't make that much sense.
Right. And listen, I think the idea of the wireless network is actually not a bad idea. Like I don't think it's a over $1 billion company like it's been valued at, and it's raised over like $350 million from VCs. I don't get that. Like, to me, like a decentralized wireless network, I guess it'd be something like you would build in like your community, your town, just to make sure that there's public infrastructure for anyone to connect to the internet. It's sort of like a library, but like you would be able to use that internet service at home. Do you know what I mean? Like that's.
I understand what you mean. I guess I'm more, maybe this is the old school in me, but I'm a big centralized thing when it comes to that. Like,
Right. But
you
see,
could have the
is-
government own the backbone, or I
Right.
should say the backbone of the system, and basically people, if they want to do it the capitalist way, then various companies who kind of like how you do a proper electric grid, right? Yeah,
Right.
you kind of have the government own the main line, and
Right.
then have these various services provide on that.
Right. But here's the thing too, though. The part of Helium that I'm saying is that it sounds like a good idea on paper and may work in like smaller scale things. That none of that is Web3.
Right.
None of that.
This is not Web3 thing. Yeah.
That's just peer to peer. Like we've been doing this with like friggin' people have been doing that shit with torrents and various other things. The part where they are I think game over. But funny enough for them, it was like what injected life into their company was the introduction of the mining aspect. Where okay, how do we get these people to buy these hotspots? We let them earn our cryptocurrency token for the data that gets used via their hotspot box. And it's like at that point you're basically, first of all, that's not how that should work at all. If your service requires regular people to have that hotspot, then you need to like pay them to have the box in their house, like pay them a rental fee for their desk space or like their space. Like, so that doesn't mean anything crazy. I'm sure there's plenty of people who would like, oh, I mean, I just put a box in my like on my shelf, and you're gonna pay me like $25-$50 like US dollars a month just to do that, sign me up. It doesn't cost me anything. Sign me up. But they're asking people to spend up to like $500 for these boxes in the hopes that they'll earn it back via crypto. And apparently early on, before, before a ton of people tried to do this, which means everyone was biting into each other's, data space. And then B, back when apparently at least there were seemingly more companies at least testing the service out, there are people who seem to have made some money. I was just reading
Guys at the
today.
beginning of the pyramid, basically.
Yeah. I read today. Who was it? She's on This Week in Google. She's one of the hosts. She wrote how a couple of years ago she got one of these hotspot boxes, and after I think she said she sold off all the tokens she earned for the 2 years since she had it. She sold off those tokens last year, and she made like $20,000. And yeah, she got in early. There's no one you go to the Helium subreddit now, and it's just person after person complaining about how they're never gonna make their money back.
For me, the shocking bit of it, since as you said, all this stuff with mining and all of this is those extra ways to milk the stone, right? So the part that was shocking to me is the fact that nobody's using this. Supposing that's the part I kind of find shocking, because people use a lot of crappy stuff, but nobody's using it.
Right, because the $6,500 worth of people or clients or customers or corporations. I mean, that's throughout their whole network. They have apparently
basically nobody.
I mean, yeah, they have I mean, if they were a one-person company, I'm sure $6,500 a month would be great. The guy would continue doing his solo small business. But these guys have hundreds of millions of dollars invested in them. And on top of that, you have to remember. This is the thing here in the Web3 space. They only really feel like the investors who are like the venture capitalists who give them the official venture capital money are the people they sort of have to listen to or be held up to for a standard. They don't view the actual people investing in their token the same way, which is ridiculous. Those people who bought those hotspots, they should be viewed the same freaking way as Mark Andreessen or Alexis Ohanian of Reddit. I mean, they don't view them like that. They care about Andreessen Horowitz and all the other VC firms, and at the end of the day, those Liron guessed probably around 400,000 people, give or take, who bought those boxes. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. That's just a guesstimate from him, which sounds right to me because there's almost 1 million of those boxes out there. I mean, at the end of the day, those people don't really, they don't matter to them.
Well, Matt, so I have to ask: is this the future now? As in, it seems like every business opportunity, crypto or not, seems to be almost entirely everything's a scam of some sort.
I mean, it's really amazing how even again, they launched this Helium, the actual wireless network in 2013. And I think that alone, it sounds like a decent idea. Again, I don't know it's the big company they think it is, but it's at least something I could actually see. Maybe a very small team of a couple of people making a living off of if they actually are able to pull it off. But they launched this in 2013, and then what do? They then in 2019 launched the token, which gets them all this attention. And I mean, it is gonna be, I think, the pivot for any company that's not doing well and just has no shame. They're just gonna they're just gonna
throw some tokens at it.
Yeah, and then they'll get an influx of cash from crypto investors, and then VCs will see this as an opportunity for them, and they'll get an influx of venture capital, and repeat over and over again. It's kind of sad and sickening, honestly. Um,
I
I
think. Oh
no,
well,
go ahead.
no. I'm just thinking like, because when you brought this up, right? I'm beginning to see this type of stuff everywhere. I remember back in Jamaica, a big old pyramid scheme was old and promised people lots of returns. But as you know, the early adopters got the returns, everybody else got the bag. So uh, I'm trying to think about it. I'm looking at some of the manosphere stuff. It's a similar model they're on. Like they're going to give you life advice, and it just turns out to be they're teaching people how to do scams very badly, and they're being scammed while they're teaching them how to do scams very badly because they are the business mark. I'm seeing the same stuff with this crypto stuff. They're promising this is how you're going to make some money, nice and easy, and then couple months later, as you say, you find out it's all a box of cards, and the real reason they're making money is keep people buying these useless boxes. That said, how are the? I remember your guest talking about one of the inventors of the internet, kind of high on his own supply. Is he actually losing money off of this, or is
Oh,
he gaining?
you're talking about Mark Andreessen.
Mark Andreessen, yes.
Yeah, he is the big. He's very wealthy, and he's like
Hmm.
he's and Andreessen Horowitz, his VC firm, is like one of the biggest funds in I mean period, definitely in
Hmm.
tech. Um, here's the thing: every time they invest in one of these companies, and we
Hmm.
mentioned this with the Helium security token during the episode, where they minted a special token that they give to people who invest these security tokens, and they're worth lots of money because they basically uh, they invest and they get all this crypto, based on their investment, and they, you know, could easily sell off and make back some of their investment. And that's on top of if the investment is good and it all works out and they make a return on that too if possible. I mean, for every my assumption is for every failure, there's some project out there where they're swapping the tokens for cold hard fiat currency and making out like bandits. Honestly,
Hmm. Sorry, I'm just speechless at this one though. It's like, was there anybody in the company like saying, "Man, this ain't real"? You, I kind of find it shocking for the amount of people involved that there was nobody saying, "Well, we might get in trouble for this," or they're that confident they're not going to get in trouble for this.
right? Yeah, I mean,
Because this is so blatant. Like, there's literally. Ah, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of trying to wrap my head around it because I'm no capitalist or anything, but I'm used to things having, these certain businesses having something to sell, and then you can see how they make the money and whatnot. But everything seems nowadays just to be the straight out scams, at least in the financial sector anyway. There's no value to any of this stuff except that they're getting suckers reeled in and then fleecing them. I mean, what would it take? How many regular folks have to lose everything before they're like, all right, maybe we might give this the same lax type of policing that we do with Wall Street, but at least it would be some policing. I mean,
right.
how much people are losing out on this type of stuff?
Well, I mean, in this case, like this is a case where like this is a in Helium's case, like I can't speak to this. This is my opinion. Like there's no facts behind this, but I mean, to say you're someone who invested in one of those hotspots based on the fact that you thought Lime was a customer, and now we were talking like, what is the actual use case for this network in general? Like, who would use this over a telecom company or whatever? And I actually think like a scooter rideshare company like Lime would would have been the perfect customer for something like this for Helium. Not saying for Lime. Lime could probably, but for Helium, think about it. Like, how often are you out of range of Wi-Fi or 5G or something? Probably not often. And you're like, your smart devices and stuff, they're probably not out of range much either. But with one of these smart scooters where people rent it, use it, and leave it wherever their ride ends, you can easily see how Lime could lose scooters if someone like travels somewhere far or travels somewhere more rural or whatever with these scooters. Enter Helium to save the day or whatever. So if you're, if you were actually thinking of this as a real investment and actually like strategically looked at this, and you were sold on Helium there because of the Lime use case, I mean, they were never a customer. So I mean, if there were enough people like that, I can easily see someone, deciding to want to, get like a class action together or something.
I hope so. I really do, because if this type of then again, maybe I'm being optimistic, but this type of crap needs to stop. I mean, it's insane. I'm wishing for high effort scams though. This is just horrible. Anyway, Matt, as I said, I'm sticking to my promise now, keeping my calls shorter, and I'm pretty sure there's some folks ready to jump in on the lot. Again, thanks for explaining this stuff to me. It's still kind of hard for me to wrap my head around, but I also think that if you don't want another scam-rich target environment, I think the manosphere is something to look into as well, because I do think they're doing some sort of MLM with their fans at some level, because I'm beginning to wonder how they get money, and evidently it comes from all these types of courses they give out. So that seems to be.
There is nothing. It's one of the oldest scammy things on the internet, selling courses to just bullshit nothing. Like, are all online courses? No, of course not. There are people who actually have real knowledge that sell it, and that's how they make money, and it actually helps people. I'm not talking about like, although I'm sure some people find this helpful, like life advice and stuff like that. I'm talking about like classes like how to do something. Someone teaches you how to code or, edit video, or people like that stuff. And the internet makes it really accessible for people. But
I think the funny thing is, like, I'm thinking of Andrew Tate, since he's making the rounds now.
Oh yeah, someone like that is definitely like, what is that guy actually giving you? First of all, I'll never understand this. I was never. What is with young men? I don't recall this when I was younger, honestly. I never looked for one either. What is with young men and their need for some sort of mentor? I never. Where did this start? Where did this come from?
You will understand because you're too much of a child. You see, that's why.
I mean, maybe that's the case. I mean, I don't need someone to look up to when I look up to myself. I'm that cocky, But I mean, I honestly never at no point in my life, even when I was like 12, 13, 14, was I like, oh, if only I had someone to look up to. No, why do you need that shit? Like, what the hell? It's so bizarre. I'm sorry.
No, well, I won't call it as bizarre. I do think there is, and I think probably white men get too over-focused, because I think it's men in general, because there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of black manosphere stuff, and I think Andrew Tate would fall into that category as well. There's a lot of lost young dudes out there. I don't know what's happening. Or maybe I do kind of understand what's happening. But there's a lot of dudes who need guidance. And there's like nothing for them.
If any young men out there need a mentor, I'm right here. I'm right here. Seriously? You know how much it'll cost you? It'll cost you a phone call into this show. And I will get your life on track. Literally, I'll get your life on track. I promise. I swear. You won't need to buy any Jordan Peterson book. You won't need to buy an Andrew Tate course. None of this bullshit. I'll whip you into shape in a phone call. Trust me, I'll take care of you. Everyone knows I'm a nice. I'm not gonna like be mean or I'll get you on the right track. Trust me.
I guess it's,
Selling nothing either. Just give me a phone call. Tune into the show. Maybe click an ad when YouTube shows you one. But that's it. That's all you gotta do.
I think the funny thing with the Andrew Tate stuff though is, if you look up reviews of his courses, it's just other dudes trying to sell the course, because I think he gives a small cut if you promote the course, like a $5.
Oh,
so you can't actually find a review of the course.
Right. Affiliate marketing. That's what that is. Affiliate marketing. It's one of the old, and listen, like obviously if you have a good product, you know, you want people to share it, and to convince them to share it, you give them a little cut. Affiliate marketing in general isn't bad, but when your whole business model depends on affiliate marketing, then absolutely you're most likely 9 times out of 10, if not more, pushing a scam.
But here's the thing: if you look at the actual course, he teaches people how to run a scam, and the scam is them. Who are them? It's so meta. I can't even understand.
Right? Yeah,
He's teaching people to run a scam while they're the victims of said scam.
Right. I mean, I don't even get where Andrew Tate came from. All of a sudden, I see him like it's for these guys. So easy for them to
Joe Rogan.
Right? Yeah.
One of his friends, because he was like so over the top misogynistic, some comedians just found it funny because they say, "Oh, well, it's art." But through that's how he got promoted, basically, stuff like that. But yeah, I guess I'll end it on this one though. The thing with, well, as I said, you're a Chad, so you don't understand. I'm joking, but I think it's very insidious that, for whatever reason, lots of young men, maybe they live in locations where there's not much access to meeting people or whatever the reason is, but they're easily suckered in because it might start with normal advice like, oh, do this, basic shit, right? Basic self-improvement shit. And then they tack on the right-wing garbage. Like if you look up how to shave a beard or something, right?
How to shave a beard. Not even your own. Just how to shave a beard.
Sorry. My grandma's going, just, like how to shave your beard or something. Basic grooming. These guys have so flooded the market that it's always, you come for the basic advice and then you get flooded with the right-wing garbage. And I think that's how they get them. Basic advice.
You know what? I need to flood the market with life advice like that without any pay.
No, actually,
no one needs to pay me anything. I'm gonna flood the market. Let's see the SEO flourish and see who wins.
No, but I think that's kind of the thing there. Lefties out there who are men who are comfortably giving advice should start doing it just to kind of counteract this stuff, to be honest. Right. Because I think, as I said, it might be hard for us to understand, but for whatever reason, lots of young men are, maybe it's capitalism, they're just lost.
Dave, you're breaking up now. I think.
I'm breaking up, so I'm going to end it now. Catch you guys later.
All right. Thanks for the call, as always. Always a pleasure to talk with you, Dave from Jamaica. All right, let's go to the phones again. There were a bunch of people calling during Dave. So let's get right back to it here. Just lost them on Skype. I am going to take your call now, so please call in. Whoever just got disconnected. Oh, wait, you know what? Dave, we had a long call anyway, but Dave, I don't think you were breaking up on your end, actually. I think there was a audio source change on my end for some reason. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt. This is Steve from Washington State. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Steve from Washington State, and thank you for calling in. What would you like to talk about?
Well, Dave actually hit a lot of the things that I've been thinking. That like, I think he said something specifically, crypto or not, the whole economy just kind of feels like a scam. And like, I remember the '90s, it was like the .com was the scam, and the 2000s it was real estate, and that just blew up our whole economy. And then we have Uber, and the gig economy just feels like a scam, and now it's crypto, and just like everything in the economy feels like a scam. And then at the same time, we keep hearing how, yeah, there's just a mild recession and unemployment's really, really good. But everywhere I look, at least, like among like my peers and friends and family, like they struggle to get jobs and they're struggling to make a living and pay health insurance and just do all the things that we kind of know about. So I don't know. I just like if a whole economy is built around just like what's the newest way to get rich quick, or what's the newest way to just make as much money as you can, or to make people think that they can make as much money as quickly as they can, it doesn't feel very sustainable. It doesn't feel that it's very useful for just working people like you and me. So and then the other thing that Dave said too is like young men who find like they have no purpose in society like this, in an economy like this, it's no wonder they drift towards right-wing scammers like Jordan Peterson or other types like that. And that's not new. Like that's as old as why so many young men drifted towards Nazis in Germany in the 30s. Like they had no purpose, they had nowhere to go. They just drifted that way because they were easy to manipulate. So
Right.
anyways, yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with that, but yeah.
No, I think oddly, bizarrely enough, I think it makes more sense to me for someone to drift towards like a white supremacist gang or something like that than drift into like the arms of one of these like lifestyle advice hucksters. Honestly, as crazy as that sounds, I'm not saying the other's better, obviously, but the radicalization in that sense actually somehow makes more sense to me. Maybe because I've been covering
Yeah.
the right for so long that I've heard these stories over and over again, and I know all about radicalization into white supremacy, into neo-Nazism, into various different reactionary movements, cults, conspiratorial groups. That all I'm very familiar with, and in a bizarre way makes sense. But like the move to like just like because usually those people do have they get those people with some sort of charismatic cult leader.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I don't Jordan Peterson. Are you kidding me? Andrew
Yeah.
Tate. There's nothing even charismatic about them. They're really bad at what they do, quite frankly.
I think they make young men feel like they have a purpose. Like I have friends that are, it's really unfortunate, I actually try and show them some of your clips or some of Majority Report's clips that are just they're into things like Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson. I'm like, and these are guys that think like they're gonna get rich quick, legit. Like they think they're gonna get rich quick on some crypto thing, and it's just,
Have
oh
him call
God, it's,
have
it's
him call in.
mind-boggling.
Have him call in.
Yeah, I should
Yeah,
actually,
I
I
mean,
should.
they tell them to call in. I will literally take their
Yeah.
calls. Like, listen, find me another conservative that has, a conservative personality that has this. Like, you could actually call in and actually have a substantive conversation. Oh my god.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
they're trying to feel like they're a part of. I know that we don't really like this word, like because tribalism is such a bad word now, but people are trying to feel like they're a part of some sort of tribe, and even if that tribe is just other young men like them who are watching the same thing and doing the same sorts of things, like we on the left, in my opinion, need to find some way to get young men involved in some sort of tribe that's a collective thing that collectively gets people to support each other, whether it's mutual aid or teaching in schools or helping each other. I don't know, whatever it might be. Like, I think for whatever reason, like, I mean, in general, humans are a collective species and we need to do things collectively. And when an economic system separates us, then they drift towards right wingers, I think.
You know,
Anyways, yeah.
I mentioned this in terms of I don't think I've mentioned it for leftism and you know progressivism too, but I feel like I recently mentioned this about you know crypto advocates and crypto skeptics and why there's so many crypto advocates and why it's so easy for people to be convinced by crypto advocates. And it's like here's the thing, like it's always going to be harder for us whether whether you're talking about something like crypto skepticism or you know political ideology, it's always going to be harder for us because we're not selling them on bullshit. Like you have one side that promises them the world and they can't deliver, but they still promise it to them. And so, how are you not going to go towards the side that's telling you you're going to be insanely rich, or that you know, these are the people ruining your life, and once we defeat them, your life's going to be great, and you too can be rich just like me. We can't because we're not gonna play that game. Like if you tell a Ben Shapiro everything sucks, he'll tell you this is the answer, really easy, do this. If you tell me everything sucks, I'll tell you absolutely hell yeah right it does. I don't got an answer for that shit because I can't sell you on anything quick and easy. What will fix it is sustained work towards organizing and electing actual progressive and leftist officials and mutual aid and doing all sorts of work like that. And it's not going to be something that happens overnight. It's going to take years and years with crypto. You tell crypto advocate, oh, I'm poor. Oh, buy this coin. I'll help you. You get rich. You come to me and say, man, the current financial system sucks. And I go, hell yeah, right, it does. I'm not going to sell you on crypto as the solution. I don't fucking have a solution. It's well beyond any of us what the solution is.
I think I wonder like the scam that like you can get rich on the stock market too. Like even that on its own. I mean, like, okay, like I've got some stocks, but I know I'm not going to retire on that. I know I'm not going to like get rich on it. You know, I hope to make like a couple $100 here and there, but I'm not going to do that. The other thing that kind of drives me nuts, and I have coworkers. I work at a school, and I have coworkers that have been gotten by this scam. Is the whole multi-level marketing scam? There's moms, and I live in a military community, and there's a lot of moms whose husbands are on deployment and stuff like that, and they get sucked in by these other scams. Everything's just a scam, and they lose thousands of dollars trying to do all these. Again, it's just like that get rich quick because everything is, you know, so hard. And so if I can just make a couple $1,000 here and I feel like I'm a part of this community of other women that are selling these yoga pants to the community and whatnot. But yeah, it can be a little difficult to see that the entire economy around me just feels like it's just a scam and just feels like it's fake. So, but I want to say on a positive note, your show's great. I love listening to it. It makes me feel like I'm, you know, at least surrounded by a community or a tribe of people who understand and see through all the bullshit. So thank you, Matt.
There you go. Oh, I really appreciate that. That's too kind. And I'm glad this show can be that for you. And not, you know, Jordan Peterson's new Daily Caller show where he says great quotes like, up yours, woke moralists.
Sunshine.
Right. I didn't do a good Jordan Peterson. Let me try to Kermit the Frog here. Okay. Up yours, woke moralists. Yeah, I guess that's the best I can do.
That's pretty good. Thank you, Matt.
Take care. Have a great night. Thanks for the call. We got another caller just in the nick of time here. Perfect timing. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how's it going? This is Jose from LA.
Hey, Jose from LA. It's going good. How about you?
Good, chilling. I'm that turd that called a few times without anything to say and shit, you know?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you got something to say this week? Doesn't matter if you do or not.
Well, I actually I wrote a song.
Oh.
I was wondering if you would like to hear it.
I would, absolutely. Especially if you're calling in and you got a song. How could I say no?
Yes, thank you. This is actually a cover. Do you know the band Goldfinger?
I do, and I was not expecting something like that. Go ahead. What song are you gonna cover?
Have you heard the song Wayne Gretzky?
I actually have not.
No, it's an acoustic track.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
Okay. Let's see. I might fuck up because it's a work in progress. I was doing it during your show earlier, so just bear with me.
All right,
Okay.
we'll do.
All right. Here we go. Matt Bender, the only man I listen to when it comes to all this crypto bro crap, cause it's bullshit.
This is great.
Oh, this fucking bullshit on Matt Bender. I wonder what you look like when you shave that beard. And I think and the red would also be curious. I forgot the rest of the lyrics. I was gonna I forgot.
I gotta tell you, if you actually
What?
if you record that, I will use that as like the move to the second half of the show song when I do to the Tuesday stream where there's not like a separate like video that's for the interview. Record
the fun
that.
Half, the fun half theme.
But I don't, that's trademarked by the majority port. So
Is it really? That's funny.
But
No,
yeah, my transition into my fun half. Well, that sounded dirty, but
well, you should listen to that song Wayne Gretzky by Goldfinger. You'll find it quite funny. Maybe a little outdated, but I don't know. You tell me. But I think you would find it funny. I think.
all right, we'll do. But definitely, if you actually like record it locally, so the quality is good, and
yeah. Did you hear any of it, or?
Oh no, I
it
did.
crap?
It actually came through much better than I thought it would. It was just like the obvious of the audio over Skype with like a musical instrument. It's gonna be a little bit muffled, but I was able to hear
it's just me. It's just me on my phone. That's my bad. But I don't have your very sophisticated equipment that you got.
No. I think it has more to do with Skype than the microphone, because the microphone sounded damn good, actually. Honestly.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, let's go. Hey, dude.
Right.
I honestly I appreciate your work. Like, yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I was gonna say, when are the stickers coming?
Oh yes, I am super behind. There's a few people who messaged me recently who said, "What's going on
It's
with
me.
this?"
It's usually me.
Oh, there might be. Yeah, no, there actually. There's a few others. I promise you, I have your sticker set aside. I'm super behind. No, but you're totally right. I've dropped the ball. I will get them to you, and I'll give you guys the people who are waiting. I'll give you guys an extra one too, because it's my fault. But thanks a lot for the call. Seriously, if you want to record that, I will definitely use it. I'm gonna
Maybe
say
we'll get
it
like
again.
an actual singer. Maybe we'll get an actual singer because my voice sucks. But like,
yeah,
whatever,
no, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. Because I would like to. I would definitely use it, and I'm gonna say it because it actually made me laugh. We will use it for we will use it for the transition into my fun half.
You should add like a bass solo on that shit.
Right. Have a great night, my friend. Thanks a lot for all the kind words and the song.
Hey, one love, man.
Peace. I see someone asking about how to call in. Open up Skype and search Doomed Live. Doomed Live. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Herbie Walker. I'm calling because I want to know how to get a girlfriend and how to make money.
Wow, Herbie Walker. That's definitely a really good name.
Yeah, I want to be a proper G. I want to be a top G.
Well, you just transitioned to a different. You became British all of a sudden. But
Andrew Tate.
Right. Yeah, Herbie Walker. Wow, that's a pretty great name for that exact type of person, honestly.
Do you think I can get a girlfriend? Please, Mr. Bender, give me your knowledge.
Here's what I would do if I were you, Herbie Walker. The first thing I would do is you would definitely have to change that first name. I'm sorry. I'm all for being yourself. But
are you being mean to me?
Herbie's not gonna work. Not gonna cut it out, buddy. No, but I would. My honest advice would literally be like, just own who you like, what you like. For me personally, like
But at the same time, you're saying
I bet
that I should change my name.
I bet if I was me growing up, I bet if little Matt Binder in like junior high school was trying to be like some preppy kid or some jock or something, I'd have been a huge loser.
Oh, top G.
Because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit who I am, my personality, my aesthetic. But I found punk rock music, and I immediately clicked. I found exactly who I am, the style that fits me, and I own, and I don't look like a weirdo in like a huge varsity jacket because I wear tight shirts that fit my aesthetic. And I'm telling you, that type of stuff when you're young, that does it does wonders for like your self-esteem, and you got a crew. It's that simple. But a lot of these guys don't want to do that. A lot of these guys that do have these issues have like really weird like beliefs of who they should be or who like their friends should be. Really weird standards. And I'm not even saying high standards because that's bullshit. Like standards for the type of girlfriend they want or whatever. Like, dude, like that's ridiculous.
It doesn't matter what any girlfriend can do. As long as she has like a face.
Well,
and
you're
heart.
already on the right. You're already on the right track.
Yes, it's the problem is that I live like in a very small box, and I never go out.
Yeah.
And by the way, Soviet Jordan Peterson says that I have to listen to Ultravox because that's where the hierarchy is.
Oh, well, there you go. Man, Herbie Walker, thank you so any relation, did I lose you? Oh, you hung up. I want to say any relation to Herschel and his son Christian. That would be good. All right, thanks for the call, Renee. I don't know how, I guess you dropped. I was a little bit stumped there. Renee was going somewhere I wasn't ready for. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Are we working this time?
Yep, you are on the air, and it sounds good. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Excellent. It went out earlier. Not a leftist for surveillance purposes. Friend of the show, calling back.
There we go. Not a leftist. What would you like to talk about?
Oh, just chiming in on the manosphere / Jordan Peterson / Matt Walsh shitfuckery.
Oh, let's do it. What was it?
I think it's all been saying. I think I would not be surprised if we didn't find like a memo from a no video recording meeting at like the Heritage Foundation at some point to indoctrinate the next generation of youth, because the next generation of youth is more prone to, the same fact that the word socialism is now being spoke on primetime TV in this country. They have a tendency to want to maybe be more collective action based by their nature.
Right.
Like what they've been to see. Hell, they've lived through more economic crises than the last 4 generations combined in their short time already. So I think it's, when you hear the rhetoric that goes on with the right, is obviously all this, the children are being indoctrinated nonsense that, So I think it's just a concerted effort. Basically anything you ever hear out of their rhetoric, I assume that they're doing in general anyway.
Right.
I mean that's always, they're always the husband that beats the wife that accuses them of cheating after they've been, banging the sister-in-law.
Right. I will say, like, the lifestyle advice stuff has existed obviously well before the right started to pillage there, and then also like the early days of the internet, and obviously still to this day, but like stemming back to like the earliest days of the internet, there was tons of like people selling themselves as like internet marketing gurus with like the get rich quick schemes. I mean, probably the biggest, and we don't have to go that far back into internet history. I mean, he's still out there doing it. Ty Lopez, that like guy who would run all those ads on YouTube about his car, his fancy cars or whatever. I mean, that sort of thing's been around forever. But yeah, it is definitely interesting how the right is taking advantage of that same style. I guess it's sort of in the same way where like pickup artists in like the early 2000s were getting really big with like that guy Mystery having a TV show, and like obviously these guys were gross and like this whole thing is pretty misogynistic, but they weren't necessarily like ideologically right wingers. But then little by little, pickup artists became quite clear that pickup artists were being sort of that sort of business model was being used by like men's rights activists and like that sort of community. And then eventually, obviously, there was no differentiation between men's rights activists and pickup artists pretty much.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's, and you know, who are the biggest cucks for capitalism ever anyway? So the right's always going to use the same exploitative means that capitalism itself does. It's a reciprocal, parasitical relationship, really. But it was funny because you were talking with somebody else when the audio had cut out about the bubbles keep bursting, and I think that's kind of a slightly different topic, but somewhat related. I think the reason why we just see so many new bubbles come up and these new scams, because I mean, crypto, that whole thing is just meta scam of a meta scam of a meta scam of the original scam anyway. But it's because I think the reason why the bubbles seem to accelerantly burst is the original bubble is about to burst. Capitalism itself is going to be a bubble that pops.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what that would look like.
2 years,
right?
2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
I would be happy with just. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't want that, but I'm even saying like aiming even lower. I would just be happy with like a housing market collapse that would correct.
You're telling me
this because that's really the one I'm honestly like that baffles me like that's. And I really should speak to someone who would be an expert in this, and I've said this a dozen times on these live streams. I don't like young people, millennials, Gen Z, they just don't own any property. They don't own their own home. Right. So like what's going to happen in less than 10 years? 10 years maybe. What's going to happen when all those boomers I mean, what I think's going to happen is that those boomers will leave, obviously, their property to their children, and you're going to get that funneled down to even a slimmer and slimmer amount of people, and those children may keep it, may buy more property with the money passed down to them. They might sell off to like companies like BlackRock, who are monopolizing certain areas of the housing market. I mean, but it's just gonna get smaller and smaller till like how can this possibly sustain it? It won't.
Well, that depends on our definition of what we consider sustainable. Looking at it from people,
right?
I look at it this way: the 1% is big enough, and the 99%, when you subtract the 20% off the bottom of it, is still large enough to just downscale our economy to keep everything the same way it is for the people on top. If say, a few years from now we have, I don't know, massive hurricanes or, massive droughts that cut down food supplies, and suddenly, we don't really like your sweat labor over here anymore because we're not getting along, international America, fuck off. Well, the capitalists aren't going to make a sacrifice. So if you take away the housing market for a good 20 to 30% of the bottom, if you found into desperation and poor, if you do something like, say, I don't know, do a big forced birth thing to where you could create a larger, labor pool of that desperate sweat labor, you build up the prison complexes to put the quote unquote worst of the worst in there for good old free slave labor. I could imagine, these big altruistic capitalist companies building small little centers. You know, you need food, you need shelter, you need work, you need housing. Come in, open arms. It's a labor camp. It's a fucking labor camp. It's just going to be disguised as, you know, marketing. Everything's marketing. Marketing is now our primary language anyway. English isn't. But you do that, and you increase the police state when, you know, suddenly everyone's poor and desperate anyway, and we go through another baby boom generation, but there's no money to be had for them. Well, that ends up funding itself, right? Because now if you suddenly have, you know, a true increase in crime, not like this bullshit we're seeing right now on TV, but, you know, if like we have a 5% uptick, that means there's a lot of fodder to put in that free slave labor, you know, prison system. And for all the people that can't afford anything, well, yeah, indentured servitude. And for the really nice off, you know, the middle class, company towns are starting to make a comeback when you look into the real estate market and how that's getting bought up. Well, they'll just bring that back. It never really died anyway. We've always had them. They just kind of went on the back burner. But basically, I think it just comes down to capital knows the capital is not going to be cheap labor in a lot of nations overseas in the next 20 years. Because they're not going to be able to. We're going to have, you know, tensions are going to be high when nobody else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
When no one has beef to sell to anybody else. I mean, look at what do we get gas from Russia?
You're moving
of our gas.
You're moving into Kowalski territory with this grain talk.
Who Kowalski is? I don't think. Maybe I do.
Oh, he's a regular caller into the show who usually brings up.
Oh yeah.
Those very same farmer issues and you know, crops and agricultural issues. Yeah. I mean, I think you're absolutely on point. I mean, it's a truly dystopian-esque future we're looking at, and that future is honestly not that far. We're not talking about I saw earlier today that people were talking about how George Jetson is actually going to be born on Sunday. George Jetson, the character in the Jetsons, was born on July 31st, 2022, when they made the Jetsons all those many decades ago. I mean, we are now living.
Elon Musk, I'm looking at you piece of shit.
Yeah, we're now living in the future. We don't have any of the cool things the Jetsons had, but we do have a lot of horrible dystopian shit. And yeah.
Without putting on tinfoil hat, I just look at things, I think, fairly logically. Capital never sacrifices anything for its end goal of, you know, obtaining as much as it can and keeping as much as it can and increasing that portion. So when she goes south, I think there's a plan in place. I mean, these people, we don't like any of them. You know, they get on TV and they do and say dumbass shit. They say dumbass shit on Twitter, but they did not get to be able to play the games that they do by being actually stupid. And while we all, you know, we point the finger at them and say, you know, the only thing they're ever interested in is short-term games. Well, that is true to a degree when it comes to human welfare, but they plan out. I mean, hell, ExxonMobil and all those guys, they've known what was coming in the climate for 40 plus years now. I'm sure they sell that information to people that pay a high dollar for it. And I'm sure that there's plans being made in the background to, you know, just keep business as usual.
Yeah.
It's not crazy. The crazy part is the fact that you got to understand the theocratic fascism that we're seeing creeping up is both by design of the same people and in opposition too, because they play along, they get funded by these assholes, but those assholes don't believe the same thing. In the end, we might just get into a dystopian future where we see a fucking potential fascism versus a ANCAP hellhole or some kind. Or maybe they'll kill each other. Somehow we'll all survive. I don't know. Yeah. But my point is, I think that the reason why you're seeing a creep up in theocratic fascism is because, you know, these people are funding them to be the, you know, the brute force that they need to get this stuff in motion.
Yeah. No, I
It's
mean,
we're just building a labor pool, man.
right,
Really.
right. No, it's
Bring
gonna
the
be,
jobs back home. I say that.
right, and the whole idea too. Whenever they're angling for the economy is doing well, but of course the economy doesn't include workers and their wages and things like that, and it's like, how can the economy be doing well if the people who make up the economy aren't doing well? Oh, the people at the very top are doing well. Oh, the corporations are doing well. That's what you view the economy as. You don't even view the people who actually run the economy, the workers, as the economy. Wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's just like I mean, everything's related when it comes to capitalism anyway. It's all falls back to that, really. But it's like the whole Jon Stewart thing that's going on right now. You know, him fighting the right on holding up the bill to fund the vets. It's like at that at its baseline when they start talking about discretionary funding. What that means is there's X amount of dollars that are allocated to the VA to service vets. That amount of funding is always cut by the right, always. And the left, what we call the left, fucking Democrats, they're not left, but you know what I mean.
Right.
They cut themselves and they kowtow down to this medical corporation, this for-profit institution to say, okay, we can't do VA services in rural town 60 miles out of Pittsburgh. However, these guys can service them. They get to draw from that pool. That doesn't go to the mandatory, that goes to the discretionary, which means they get to charge 6 times as much. And then the people who put that kind of system in place, the right to begin with, who champion that free market, fuck everybody for profit institution, get to go back and say, look what the Dems are doing. They're pork spending. They rig the game, they champion it, and then they back it on the other side while fighting it on the front. It's goddamn 4-level chess that's been going on forever. And I think that goes back to our original thing. That I think that is why you see all these weird fucking mentor things coming up to indoctrinate the youth more, because I think people are maybe not necessarily getting it in the, we're not going to turn on MS and be like, Marx was right. They're never going to do that. Shit'll be on fire before that ever happens. Maybe then we'll see it right before the static goes out on the channel. But I think as a culture, there is like a subconscious awareness that the game is rigged. I think that's why Trump got popular. For people who were apolitical, who just kind of had a tendency to want to be a narcissistic asshole and felt like nothing was going their way, here's a guy telling them, well, the game's rigged.
Right.
And he wasn't lying, but he was lying to them, and the fact that he was looking to rig it for himself.
You're right. He wasn't lying about the game being rigged, but he didn't mean it in the correct. He didn't mean it in the accurate way.
Right.
Right.
Right. But they don't get that.
Right.
They buy the first time in their lives that they get actually interested in something. They ate it all up, and that's literally the entire conical history of what they know of politics. They don't go back and look at, fucking neo-slavery, for example, as like a sign of corruption of what's happened in our economic system and never went away. That's too much thought. That's eyes glaze over. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think the point is, yes, it'd be great if we could start doing something that's mentoring for left-minded individuals, but I think it has to be somewhat separate from activism, at least at first. Maybe we got to run the same grift. Clean your room.
Yeah, that's certainly something I've definitely considered in like a serious manner. Obviously not maybe in that way, but like figuring out a way to reach people who don't have an interest in politics, but at the same time discuss politics with them in a way where they don't even realize they're talking about politics. I mean, because that's what like someone like Jordan Peterson is doing. Like they really don't think he's political as he's out there talking about like wokeism and stuff. I mean, come on, but it works. Thanks for
the reason they don't think he's political is because he's fucking Canadian. What does his fucking opinion even matter in this country anyway? You piece of shit. Fuck Nickelback. Fuck Jordan Peterson. God damn it, Canada. Don't make me hate you.
Well, they got Bret Hart, so that always works out for me.
They do, but they always export the shit.
Right, yeah.
Damn them all. No.
Yeah.
I love Canada. Might have here the next few years. Who knows? They'll take us. But anyway, I've taken enough of your time. Appreciate
Great call. Have a great night. Take care. Definitely do call back
Glad
in,
we
too.
can leave this one on.
Oh, just lost him. Ugh. I think he got everything out there. What time is it? Because I got to tell you, I am exhausted. This has been I think a recent thing over the past few weeks, with the show starting a little bit late a few times. But I'll go a little bit longer. Oh, I just accidentally hung up on people. Oh, here you go. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? All right, I'm going to have to hang up on you, but do call back in if you could fix your sound. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
I'm calling from Ottawa. After
Uh-oh, you're calling from Ottawa. No, that's great. No, don't worry about it at all. That's, that guy's not on the phone now, so don't worry about it. No, I'm just But what would you like to talk about, Stacy from Ottawa?
actually, I just wanted to talk to you about the what I saw being outside of the United States, the Jedi mind trick that Chuck Schumer and Manchin did on the GOP. And that seems to, I guess, the left, who usually always want the Dems to be fighting harder and playing dirty and playing by the GOP's tactics, and the timeline of how things went down, it seems like there was some kind of a real good Jedi mind trick that they played. It had an unintended consequence, but that's not going to last for long.
I don't know.
Behind it.
Sell me on that. Because I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think Joe Manchin's in on anything with Chuck Schumer.
Well, no,
I think.
Yeah, no, I remember I guess it was McConnell that said that he didn't want to deal with the CHIPS Act, and when they found out that Manchin was literally stalling and holding back on the climate and that stuff, they seemed to go all in on that, because it seemed like they weren't going to get the win that they wanted. And then just after they passed the CHIPS Act, then all of a sudden they dropped down. We made the Republicans furious that they literally screwed over the veterans bill just to get back at the Dems, only that they basically just shot themselves in the foot, because I know America pretty well from my vantage point. You guys are pro-vet all the way. I don't know anyone that doesn't support a vet. You may not support a government for the war, but you always support the troops. You always support people on the ground. And we do that here in Canada too. And I'm confident that will not last long, because the pressure will be too much for the Republicans to be able to not turn around and just put it back in next week and pass it. So I look at it and I see Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin working together to kind of coordinate the drop of intel, as far as how Manchin was basically lambasting them on what they wanted to get done, so that they were to gain some kind of a lull with the GOP, and not playing hardball on a lot of the things that they thought they could at least let slide, because this is not going to work, that's not going to work. So, and then all of a sudden, boom, more spending things coming, which really totally, at least that's the vantage point I'm seeing it from my bubble up here.
Right. I mean, it's possible that Schumer was playing the cards he was dealt with, and ended up putting something together that ended up working in his favor, at least temporarily. I just can't imagine that Manchin was planning this out with the Dems to get one over on the Republicans. If anything, that was just a consequence that maybe Manchin saw as, I'll do this because I'll still end up looking like the power broker here. Like, I'm the one they have to still kowtow to. So maybe I think if you want to hand it to Schumer, I think that's fair for this one. I don't think Manchin was playing the same 4D chess that Schumer was.
Wasn't there just news not too long ago, maybe last week or so, where he said that he was pulling out of climate initiatives or something, and then he got lambasted? I know, I remember watching it all over, and everybody was just saying, go after his daughter, do this, do that. And it's like, and then it's only just a short week later that's got this amazing deal with Chuck Schumer that I think that they set that up to make it look like he was still going to keep hamstringing them. And that makes that I would assume that would make people who are in power a little more secure, and they could drop their guard. And I think that's kind of that's just what I'm seeing. And so if it turns out that that's what it is, then you heard it here. But
there you go. I mean,
just,
it's not completely out of bounds, honestly, the way this ended up working out. I just doubt Manchin's intentions, which means I doubt he was looking at it the same way. I think perhaps unintended consequences, that was the result for Manchin to get what he wanted. And not really unintended in the way of he didn't want it to happen. It just wasn't his prerogative.
Oh, do you think Chuck Schumer's the one that's going to get all the cred here because he probably played them both against each other?
He could. I mean, Schumer's really not that great, honestly, at the public facing part of this. He never has been, in my opinion. The guy knows what he's doing in terms of playing politics back there and racking up. I mean, I'm sure this show wouldn't consider it to be wins, and the audience wouldn't consider it to be wins, but, for the Democrats, wins. But he's never been good at the public-facing part of it, in my opinion. Over the recent years, I think he's gotten better because he realizes how much more progressive New York has gotten over the years, and if he's going to remain the progressive senator from New York, if he's going to remain the senator from New York, he's got to up his progressive bona fides.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you with that.
I'm definitely gonna read this all again with that that in mind, what you laid out, and see if it makes more sense. I will. Though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's completely.
I was just because I watch a lot of different streamers. I'm actually from originally. I'm a appointment surf. Okay. I like my Canadian news and my American news, and I like laughs. But I watch a lot of other streamers and YouTubers and all that too. So I get lots of little bits of nuggets of information, and then I put it all together, and I usually end up making some ideas of thought experiments of exactly what could have happened. And sometimes I end up being right, and I'm never telling this to people or anything. So I kind of wanted to spitball this with you because I'm very curious as if this is what probably played out, because if the Dems who are being told start fighting dirty like the GOP, you're useless, you're useless, and if they say fine, but they're not going to announce it to everybody, so they're going to do stuff surreptitiously, and then we see the results.
I would say I wouldn't classify this as playing dirty like the GOP. I wish they played dirty like the GOP. This is more like your classic, politicking. Political, back. I'm having a mental block right now, like backhanded deals or back alley deal, whatever it's called. But yeah, I wish they would get dirty like the GOP and the flat out like not giving a shit about, just fucking being like, I don't give a shit about what you think. I'm doing it my way. They don't do that enough, but I definitely think it's good you called in to put that on the record there, because I don't think you are completely off base. I just question Manchin. That's my
I question the GOP because of the fact that if they weren't outright furious, they wouldn't have held back votes on something that was literally guaranteed. It was just like you're going to rubber stamp it through, and
I don't
then
think they were.
caused
I
the
don't.
shitstorm they did. Like if they just wanted to chalk it up to politics and they might be a little mad or whatever, they're not going to do something like that drastic of something that's probably never been seen before. I think I might even heard Jon Stewart say that kind of thing's never seen. Something that passes in June and then in July when it's just rubber stamping, and it's completely like, nope, we're flipping it over, and nothing was changed but like one line.
I mean that could definitely
they're in their
right.
fifties, the GOP, they went really hardball on that. That's something that they should support, and they're getting the fallout is going to be bad. I feel that the fallout's going to be bad.
I think that could definitely be a big part of it, but I also think they were not expecting any of this, because I got to tell you, where the fuck did Jon Stewart come from? I mean, there was never going to be any media coverage like how this has been. I mean, I know he's been on these issues for a long time. Like he was one of the big voices for like the 9/11.
Yep.
But like we're talking years and years ago. Jon Stewart's been disappeared for the majority of the Trump administration and the Biden administration.
He's been working behind the scenes. Like
I mean, this is different though.
He got involved. This is his thing, and it's his issue that he's really passionate about.
But he's been completely out of the spotlight. Even his like Apple show that he's been doing doesn't even get that much attention. He was just completely, to me at least, a non-factor in any of this anymore. And then I feel like overnight, all of a sudden, he's leading the charge on this current campaign, and not only is he just leading the charge, he's been extremely successful at getting the media coverage and the press for it. And I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, where the fuck did this come from? I mean, again, this was 8 years ago or something. I'd be like, oh, of course he's going to be there. Yeah. I don't know where the fuck this is coming from now.
Well, no, the reason why it's because I think when he got the news that it was not going to pass, or that there were murmurs that it was going to dip. That's, I think, when he got either if he down there, probably waiting for for the grand finale of the things they'd been working for. Of course he would be there if he works with these vets groups. Why wouldn't he be there? He want to be there to celebrate and to congratulate everybody. And when that happened, because I've been with Jon Stewart since he was a stand-up, okay, before The Daily Show, and I got to know him better through The Daily Show as a human being, giving the news in a funny format, but you got to see his humanity a lot of the time during that show, which really endeared him to a lot of people. The way he's feeling right now, he is what he's saying is how he's feeling. Okay, like I feel it from him, and he is. I guess the part when he says the cruelty is the point, and the fact that he's not shocked about the assholery of all the stuff that's been happening, but it's the fact that they would stoop so low as to do that just to try and get back at Dems. And it's like, you're not going to get back at Dems if you shortcut vets that are sick and dying. You're going to off the foot because you have a country that literally is. If you put up any country that supports the troops more, you guys have that hand down, okay? Even if there's bigger armies and people are forced to have to salute them or whatever, and you could see that when it comes to the heart and love of the troops, America, you guys sing that across the friggin' world. We hear it everywhere. Okay,
I think it's a lot of just.
It's a lot of pumped up stuff, but the fact that you guys have a really huge army, military, all of that stuff, the fact that it's not going to hit a fuck ton of people, and it's going to upset a lot of people on both sides, which I think that it's going to become a shit show. I think because the GOP just can't let that sit like that. They not going in recess and all that. I'd love it if my politics was a lot of interesting things that you could actually think they might be playing three-dimensional chess, but it's not. But I really hope it works out, and the situation is shitty as far as the results, but as far as how it landed that way, I saw some kind of. It just seemed like the Dems probably did pull one over on the GOP, and they were not expecting it, and that's why it ended up being this way. And I'm kind of like thinking we can give them a clap for that, or a Pepe clap, or whatever. For at least doing that one thing. Come on, you got to be charitable. Come on, let this Canadian let you be a little bit charitable in the world here. That if they do a goodie, you gotta be nice.
I'll wait and see a little. I'll wait a little bit and see how this ends up and rolls out, and maybe I will give a clap.
I know.
Maybe I will give a clap to Schumer. Manchin ain't getting nothing from me.
I hear you there. I hear you there. I totally understand. Well, it was great talking to you.
Thanks for the call, Stacey. Absolutely great talking with you. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye.
And definitely call in again. I always like to say that because I want people to know that I appreciate the calls. I'm thinking maybe one more call. We'll see. Maybe one more call. Maybe. If you want to, if we let me read some super chats. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Michael from New York. Can you hear me now? Because I called earlier. Audio wasn't working.
I do hear you now. Perfect. Michael from New York.
Great.
What would you like to talk about? By the way, great place to be from.
I know. You're in Brooklyn, right?
Queens.
Oh, okay. I'm in the Bronx. So.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, so just real quick, Jon Stewart's been on the burn pits for a while. His first episode on his show was actually about burn pits, and he had the Secretary of Veteran Affairs on the show, and he kind of like ambushed him about burn pits. So he's been at this for a little bit of time.
All right, I don't want people to misunderstand me. I don't mean like where the fuck has he been in terms of like the issues. I mean, where the fuck has he been in terms of like the limelight? Like.
Yeah.
Well, he's not been on TV doing something like this, and I don't mean like for like an entertainment show. I mean he's not been like he used to be doing this stuff quite regularly, like the press tours on specific issues, and then I feel like he disappeared for like 5 or 6 years from doing that, and then all of a sudden it's like holy shit, here he is again. I'm not complaining about his activism here at all. I was just like a little bit shocked that he was back at it after such a long lull.
Yeah, if you want to see some real good entertainment, he has a YouTube station channel called The Problem with Jon Stewart. It's from his Apple TV thing, and he's been railing on people, especially Ted Cruz, everybody's favored, senator, for the last couple of hours, just releasing nonstop punch fests on him. I actually had two other things I wanted to bring up real quick.
Sure.
First, I know you mentioned about the Jetsons. The Jetsons, how you were talking about, is not how I remember it. Actually, it seemed like a dystopian world because I don't know if you realize, but you would imagine it's 2062 when that show takes place, but not very many people got to live in the clouds. So what was going on with the people that were living on Earth, on the actual?
All right.
Because remember, I don't know. I remember one specific episode where it was raining, and they just raised their city higher up in the sky, away from the rain. So I always wondered what was going on down at the ground level, because there's no way everybody was just riding in the clouds like they were.
I mean, hell, if I had a budget, I would go out there pitching. If I had like connections with like Hollywood, I'd be pitching like a dystopian Jetsons horror movie where we go below the clouds and see the hell on earth that exists. Damn, that's.
Yeah, they were all probably escaping climate change, and they were the rich ones that got to could afford robot maids and everything and ride in their floating cars.
Damn, that's. I think I was never a big Hanna-Barbera guy. Flintstones, Jetsons. I was more of a Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes, and a Disney guy. So I never really. I don't think I ever even realized that was the scenario where, wow, they're living in the clouds, but it's not that many people.
Yeah. The final point I wanted to bring up is I actually spent a considerable amount of time in my life in a high control group, or what you would call a cult. And one thing that people don't realize about high control groups, I don't like to use the word cult because it kind of always comes off with a negative connotation and people kind of squirm when they hear that word, is that most of their leaders are very charismatic. They usually present a problem and a solution to the people that are, need that problem solved. It's part of the reason why I was drawn to this show actually, is because obviously with cryptocurrency they're telling you, oh, there's a problem and this can be resolved by the blockchain, or whatever other stuff that they could think of, and people get sucked into that because they want to be part of that in crowd and something over somebody else. You were talking about white supremacy. All of these things always come back to that. And I wanted to know, what is your viewpoint of that opinion or that viewpoint that I'm having?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's super simple for a lot of these people to draw, to draw people to their side or their viewpoint of things, because I mean, they're selling false hope. It's the easiest thing in the world to sell because you don't gotta have anything to back it up. You just
Hmm.
I mean, I don't even, anyone could do that. I just personally could not. I would feel horrible. It doesn't fit into what I want to see in the world. And it's not I guess some people don't care about that. They just want to enrich themselves. They don't care what happens to society as a whole and other people. Um, am I answering your question? I'm sorry. I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
yeah, no, I mean, no, I get what you're saying. I just think that it's interesting that there's always a sense of control that people want to have, even the perception of control that they might think that they have, but not obviously with a lot of these cryptocurrencies, because I have friends that are on the left sucked into this, and I would think that in
Really,
my mind,
you have crypto, you have lefty friends who are into crypto.
yeah. Yes, I have lefty friends who are into crypto, and I try to explain to them that it's libertarian and that it's a right phenomenon. They'll be the type of people that are like, oh, did you watch the hearings on January 6th, and they're tweeting and messaging and doing watch parties about it, but then they want to tell you about the latest Solera or whatever else is coming out, and
How do they square that? Like, have they talked to you about how they fit crypto into their politics?
yeah, I think from a standpoint that, well, they're all PMCs, I don't from that they're they've gotten up there in their lives, and I think it's more like it's like a 1980s yuppies thing where it's like the new thing, and so they feel like there's a future for this, and they just want to be there. They probably missed Web 2, and so they just want to be there when quote unquote Web 3 comes in hit, and so it's more of trying to be on the cutting or bleeding edge of technology, that more than I think they're looking at it from a political standpoint, even though
Oh,
I
okay. Right.
I I I see it for what it is, and
I mean,
I
I'd
don't.
love to square, like, to talk with someone like that. I mean, I know there are lefty crypto people who want to come on this show, and I'm going to reach out to them. But I mean, like, they're more prominent people in that space. But like, I'd love to just talk to like a general crypto advocate or investor who is considers themselves to be a lefty, to try to understand like how they fit that into their politics. I mean, it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit, because at the end of the day, for you to profit, someone's being taken advantage of. And yes, you can say, oh, it's all capitalism, but it's really not. I mean, to the extent of how crypto is. I mean, sure, obviously workers are taken advantage of, the labor is taken advantage of, and people, there's not an equitable distribution of wealth. Absolutely, that's not wrong at all.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm also not like, I believe all that. Yeah. But I'm also not advocating that the replacement is something that is just like that too. But in my version, I'm enriching myself instead of other people enriching themselves. Like that's where I just don't get for crypto people who say they're lefties. It doesn't. Um, and when I've spoken to a few who have called in, they usually say, "Well, I made money off of this." Okay.
Yeah, but somebody else had to lose for
Yeah,
you money in the process.
yeah, but like, also, nothing I advocate for is about making like an individual leftist more money. No, it's about lifting up everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And lifting up everybody, obviously, who are workers, the marginalized. I'm not talking about, we're going to lift up some extra rich people some more. But you know that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is in New York, so you know how it is in the Bronx, and I get to, see how the economy affects people, on lower income scale every day, and you just see it's just heartbreaking from that standpoint. So I can see why somebody might, from that point, look and say, well, maybe this is my shot. Let me take it. But for certain people, I just don't understand how they can justify it. It's just it's mind-boggling for me too, and it's always from the standpoint of, well, oh, you're just old, or you're just, I'm not even that old. They're older than me, actually, believe it. But they're like, oh, you're just old, and sending me old people emojis and saying you just don't get it, and I'm like, I do get it. I understand it. I actually dabbled with cryptocurrency a few years ago when it first started. I'm talking about 2009, and I was just like, this has no, you know, utility whatsoever, and
You mean 2019?
in 2009.
2009? What?
I mean when Bitcoin was, I think I had Bitcoin when 5-6 cents.
What, dude?
Yeah. And I don't even.
Are you
believe
the
it or
guy?
not, I
Are
don't
you the
feel
guy?
bad
Who,
about
are
it.
you the guy who bought the pizzas?
No, I didn't buy the pieces. I remember I had crypto. I had it happen, but no. What happened was that I used to go on message boards and people would post like, "Hey, I need help with this technical issue. Does anybody know how to do something with it?" And so I went on a message board, and it was somebody asking for help with Bitcoin and how they can make it work. And they followed me on Twitter, and lo and behold, it was MC Hammer. Believe it or not.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, I was there for that first crash. I think it was in 2010, and I was just like, this is stupid, and I just moved on from it. I probably have some crypto, some Bitcoin somewhere, but I don't even know. That USB stick has probably been lost for a long time.
Oh
So,
shit! Oh,
eh,
damn.
it is what it is. It is what it is, right? I don't feel bad about it at all, believe it or not.
No, I mean,
But
yeah, I don't think. I mean, also from what I understand too, if you were in that early, and you decided to put it, and you decided to cash out, or take it out of cold storage, you would have probably ended up putting it in Mount Gox, and your money would be gone anyway. It would have happened anyway.
yeah, so
I mean, I've heard that from there's at least one person who's called on this show numerous times, to tell me exactly that's what happened to him, and like, that's what
Think,
that's
but
what
is
everyone
it
was that's what everyone was doing at that point.
be getting some of their coins back though? I thought there was like some sort of
Yeah,
settlement.
there's some sort of settlement where they get something back. Obviously, nowhere near what they
Yeah.
actually would have had if Mount Gox didn't take it. Also, this oncoming settlement is supposedly could possibly crash Bitcoin because
Oh, it's definitely gonna crash. It's
because
gonna crash
none of these
because they're gonna cash out.
yeah, none of these people are gonna hold. They've already had a horrible experience with holding. They're gonna take their money and run smartly and rightly so. So you're gonna have all
Yeah.
these people take their Bitcoin and immediately swap for fiat, and Bitcoin will probably it'll be an interesting time period for sure.
Okay, but for a long time, you actually saved me close to joining a cryptocurrency company. I actually had a job job offer on the table, and I just couldn't pull the trigger. I didn't want to work somewhere where I didn't believe in what I was doing, or that I kind of knew that it was a scam. It just wasn't with my values. So
Wait, you broke up a
I
little bit.
appreciate.
You broke up a little bit. You said this show helped?
No, yeah, because I actually had a job on the table for a cryptocurrency infrastructure company named Copper. They're based in the UK, but they were basically expanding to the city, well, specifically Jersey City, and so I had a job offer there, and I was just like, I couldn't do it. It just felt like it felt scummy to me, and I didn't want to be somewhere where I didn't, share the values of the location. So
Right. I mean, that's thank you for saying that. I will say I usually want to make this designation. I mean, obviously, you're in a position. It sounds like being that you did that, where you could turn that down and find something else or had something else lined up. But I always say, listen, like, everyone takes shitty jobs sometimes because they need to provide for themselves and their family. So, if someone had to do that and the crypto company was the only...
Oh, no. I totally understand that point.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I had the option, but it was just it's something to say that you don't believe in something or that you think it's a scam or it just doesn't feel right to you, and then you compromise your morals to do it. I'm not talking about if somebody needs to feed their family. Obviously, that goes to the whole discussion or mind thought of if your family is starving, do you steal food for them in that situation? And that's a situation that unfortunately never had to get to. But I understand what you're saying.
Right,
No,
right.
I'm not trying to. I don't want anybody to get that impression either. I had the luxury to say no to that position
Right.
and stick with my values. But people, if they're in that situation, that wouldn't be much of a leftist viewpoint, right? I mean, for either one of us to say to somebody, stick to that and stick to your guns and then suffer economically from it, considering how vicious this current economy is and how just this whole neoliberal system is. So,
Right.
no, I agree with you. I don't want that to get confused either.
Right. And with that addendum added, though, I also want to say, absolutely good for you and props. I don't want to play that down either. So.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call. This was really great. Please call in again. Have a great night. Take care.
Bye.
All right, folks. I think there's something up with Skype tonight. I don't know why it's breaking up so much. Well, that call was fairly good, but I'm seeing some people say these calls are breaking up a little bit. Luckily, I don't think they're breaking up to the point where you can't make out what's being said, but I'm also tired. We did a hour and 45-minute long show. All right, last call. You got me. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt, this is Susan from Nashville. Can you hear me okay?
Hey, Susan, I can, and you are the final caller of the night, 100%. Not going to take any more calls. I've already said this, but I swear you are the last, Susan. What we have to talk about?
Yeah, sorry about that. But I do have, everyone's talking about neoliberalism. I'm here to talk about Neopets. All right.
Yes, what's going on with Okay, for anyone who doesn't know, Susan is basically the scam economy Neopet beat reporter. Please continue.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. So previously, I've been talking about Neopets NFTs and their insistence to continue with that project. In the middle of, I want to say May, they announced their play to earn?
Play to earn, yes. Neopets is doing that?
Yeah, they're doing like a play their earn idea, I guess. They had like a trailer for it in May, which everyone correctly mocked. It's there's a lot of information there. It's hard for me to tell even what the gameplay would be. So that was when you're less tired, we could perhaps go more into that. But the reason
I'm honestly shocked. I mean, you've been calling in about the NFT stuff, but like the play to earn model seems even more exploitative to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm realizing I'm perhaps neglected to talk about that. See, I try to call in, but you got so many callers. It's difficult to get in there sometimes. But a couple weeks ago, the Neopets metaverse decided to appoint like 4 of their community members as ambassadors to Neopet. It's like some kind of thing they do. It was hard for me to understand what an ambassador really is, but it's kind of like someone in one of the regular Neopets Discord was explaining. It's kind of like getting a social media influencer to kind of vouch for or to go into the I don't know. It's just like a heightened community member, right? They appointed and when I was asking them, so is this are they doing this for free? But no, they give these people like sometimes like non-monetary stuff. So maybe they give them extra NFTs or something. Anyway, I didn't understand what that meant. But the reason
I'm gonna have to look into the Neopets. I know I've told you that already. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. There's gotta be an I gotta do an episode on this.
But they so one of their people infiltrated the regular Neopets, like the r/Neopets Reddit Discord, and was like trying to recruit people, a little condescendingly, like your crypto bros will show up and just try to explain crypto to people that have already heard these explanations before, ultimately culminating in the ambassador getting banned from the server for calling the community worse than COVID. Which is funny because one of the other ambassadors was already banned from the Discord, but it was big enough of a thing that the official fan websites made a whole deal about it, forcing the Neopets metaverse to fire him as a ambassador and to make sure to say stuff like this isn't we don't pay them or whatever. It's not really an official part of our team. But it was, what got me was, as part of their response, they said twice, let's peacefully enter Web3 or something like let's have a peaceful transition to Web3. And they said that twice in the message. And I was like, I don't understand why they're framing it that way.
That's so like cult sounding, honestly. Like, we will have a peaceful transition into Web3. Come, join me into this.
Well, like, okay, so that kind of implies to me that they feel like they're at war with their own community. It's like they're at war. I didn't understand that part of it. But top it all off, that was a couple weeks ago, and this is an unrelated but funny, unrelated to that story anyway. Neopets was hacked to the point that someone's got like backdoor access to the entire website. So and it's being sold for, like, the access to all that is being sold for 4 Bitcoin, which is just under
I'm looking this up right now.
$100,000. So yeah, it's being sold for 4 Bitcoin. I can send you.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm seeing this now. Whoa. This is Neopets. Neopets hacker steals 69 million accounts. Nice. Tries to sell them for Bitcoin.
I think they purposely must be saying 69 instead of 70, right? They have to.
Right. Damn. All right, I didn't see this. All right. I liked Input Magazine's headline for this. People are really still hacking Neopets in 2022.
Yeah, okay, you didn't have to say it like that.
Damn. Wow. All right. I'm gonna have to look. This is definitely something to have. There's got to be a Neopets episode, at least one Neopets episode, in my near future.
Yeah. So. Sorry. Yeah. So.
Susan.
It is. Sorry.
Whoa. I'm sorry. There was more. Go ahead. There's something else.
I was just trying to say, as a PSA, that it is important to keep in mind that if you have a Neopets account that is attached to an email, and that email has the same password as that Neopets account, you need to change the password for that email, not the Neopets account, because if a hacker has backdoor access, they can see it even after you've changed it. So this is a public service announcement for the 3 or 4 other Neopians in chat.
Right. Yeah. That's a great point. You should check if you have. Really, I mean, you should definitely, for any old school account you have, think about how like people have forgotten about some of the websites they signed up for, and how those sites probably aren't, don't have the upkeep that regularly updated modern So I mean, this even happens to new websites and modernized websites. So imagine what's going on with Neopets and other services like it. Susan, thanks for the call. Always a pleasure for the Neopet report. I promise you we're going to do a Neopets episode. I would love for you to be a part of that episode. I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, really funny. Thanks for taking my call.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Neopets. It's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing. All right, guys, I am signing out of the YouTube, the Skype. I'm going to read some super chats. Oh, Scott's Robot says, "Hey Matt, amazing scoop today. Thank you so much, Scott's Robots. Really appreciate that." MC Dano says, "Very lonely person here. Thanks for making this a chill community, y'all." Aw. Thanks for being part of this. And please, if you ever feel like calling in, call in. And, no reason to feel lonely in this world with so many people in it. Things can. This is how I go through. This is how I go through life. This has been my motto. It's probably why I'm such an optimistic person, and I truly feel this way. No matter how shitty things are, no matter how terrible they are, think about how short we are on this earth. Big picture. We're not here very long. I mean, all this terrible, whatever happens, yes, it sucks. I mean, I'm not saying I go through life never being bothered by anything or never being sad or no, of course not. But big picture, we're here for a short time. We gotta make the best of it, enjoy it as much as we can, and then it's over, and that's plenty of time when there'll be plenty of time when we're not here anymore for us to feel horrible and terrible and everything like that. There you go. It's a pretty simple. It's the Matt Binder motto. There you go. Oh shit! I don't think I was gonna end the show. What is going on here? Did we get the? Oh no! We got a raid. Someone raided us. Who raided? Why isn't my Twitch refreshing? Who raided us? My Twitch froze. We got Amy EC3 raided us earlier, 43 minutes ago. But who raided us now? Really? Is this a Keffels raid? Oh shit! Why isn't Twitch telling me that though? It doesn't say here. What the fuck? Oh, a shadow Keffels raid? Kaffel. Oh, okay. All right. I'm shutting up now. Shh. I'm sorry. I Damn. All right. Emo Kids Excels in Twitch chat says, "Hush, you weren't supposed to tell." I'll be very quiet. Oh, I was raided by it wasn't who raided me again? Let me see. I'm really bad at thinking on my feet here. Oh, it was a raid from my good friend Tim Pool. He was Twitch streaming and Tim Pool raided me. So if Twitch, you have any problem with the person who raided me while they happen to be on a temporary suspension, it was Tim Pool, so please then go and permanently suspend him. Just to let you know. Just that's who did that. How do you do a shadow raid? How does is the shadow raid a thing? because it's not appearing on my activity feed in Twitch. And I'm not very Twitch savvy. I'm going to sound like a boomer to all you wonderful Keffels fans who are very Twitch savvy. How do we... Oh, she just hosted you on her website. Ah. Oh. She has a GG website and is hosting you. Ah, okay. I'm getting a DM from her. Okay. Okay. This will make more sense now. I'm such an old man. I'm such an old man. Guys, I multi-stream on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So I'm on YouTube right now too. You probably see some of the YouTube chats in like the restream bot sharing the messages back and forth. I'm an old man when it comes to Twitch. Really. I would like to think I'm fairly hip and with it when with everything else, but I'm already sounding like an old man by saying those things. But when it comes to Twitch, I will openly admit, don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I hosted you from my website. When you check analytics, it'll say, okay. I stream on my own site, so okay. All right. I don't know if she wants me reading the DMs, but they're nothing on the nothing so it should be on like the DL or something. All right, jeez. I was actually about to Mozart in YouTube chats as the old man starring Matt Binder. Yeah, I mean, I was about to just end the stream. Can you all follow me on Twitch or YouTube? So we could do this again on a night where I didn't already stream. Now if you look at the time I've been streaming for 2 hours, but it's actually longer because before this stream, I was doing a premiere video for a pre-recorded video. So I was in the chat while the pre-record played, and that was like over an hour. So I'm about to hit the 3-hour mark. And this 35-year-old man was getting ready for his Friday night slumber. So, please. Oh, Philbo Schwaggins, resubscribe with Prime. Subscriber for 4 months. Thank you so much, Philbo Schwaggins. Robot Monkey Cats resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1. Subscriber for 9 months. Holy. Amy EC3, thank you again for the raid. I missed it earlier. I'm so sorry. Oh, got some super chats to read. I'll read the super chats. That's a good chance for the Keffels crowd to stick around for a bit longer. Mifune, can you talk about your favorite political books? Maybe what influenced you the most? Oh boy. I got to tell you. My biggest influences were music. I've never been much of a sound so stupid. Much of a book reader. No, I mean I read books. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a specific book that influenced me the most. I'm looking around here at some most of the books I have honestly are more like covering the right. Like I have Kelly Weil's book on her new book that came out this year on the Flat Earth movement. I have Mike Rothschild's great book on QAnon. Geez, what else do I got here? I got the great Peter Thiel profile from Max Chafkin. He came on Doom to talk about it, and Mike Rothschild came on the podcast too to talk about it, his book. So yeah, I mean, I mainly honestly read books because that's what I mostly cover about right-wing movements, conspiracy theories, things like that. I'm trying to think. I mean, can't go wrong with Marx. But honestly, I was radicalized via being in high school for 9/11 and the horrible things that the Bush administration did in the fallout, and then getting into political punk music. That was my radicalization. James with a $5 super chat, just dropping me some cash. I'll take it. Thanks, James. Midnight Pizza Man with a $20.69 super chat. Nice. Thank you so much for that super chat, Midnight Pizza Man. Matt, you were probably a well-adjusted, comfortable with themselves, their situation, chill-ass teenager, young adult. There are young guys who aren't that. They fall for the BS, seeking answers for their apparent shortcomings. That's right, Midnight Pizza Man. For people who just came in earlier in the stream, we were talking about the appeal of the Jordan Petersons and the Andrew Tates of the world. I mean, that's certainly it, right? Tripod with a super chat. To quote The Rock to Big Show, somebody got a haircut. Keep up the good work and look out for Scam Economy, the movie, coming February 32nd. I would love to do an anti-crypto documentary to go along with the Scam Economy show. Renee with a super chat. Isn't that Metropolis, give or take the Nazis? Give or take the Nazis writer. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Renee. Colin Shaw Indie Games, the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I want to call in, but can't work Skype and can't find you. Thanks for a trip and a half down memory lane. Did you see the Time article on Axie Infinity destroying Philippines from a couple of days ago? Eye opener. I did not. I will check that out. There's probably some new stuff in there, but do check out. I did an Axie Infinity episode not too long ago with Ed Zitron. It's probably long ago now. We're on episode 25 of Scam Economy now. I believe the episode on Axie Infinity is episode 8. It is, I mean, obviously I sound like patting myself on the back, giving myself one of these when I say this, but it was a fantastic episode, and it's because Ed Zitron is a fantastic guest. Definitely check out that episode on Axie Infinity. It's Scam Economy. It's on the YouTube, youtube.com/MattBinder. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find those links at scameconomy.com. So yeah, we did an Axie Infinity episode. I will read that timepiece to see if there's new stuff. Renee with a super chat. Ask Keffels to give a shout out to at Zoe. Zoe, you big fan? You big fan of Keffels? I got to do something with her. We were supposed to. In fact, she wanted me to just join her on a late night Twitch stream one night, but it was after I was already streaming for 4 hours and I was exhausted. The second, Keffels, the second you are no longer banned on Twitch, we should do stuff. Unless you don't mind, and we could do stuff. But then doesn't Twitch work where if you come on my stream, I could get banned, and I don't want none of that. I'm sorry. Second, you were on 20 days left. I'm taking a vacation in a week too, so that's gonna fly by. We got to do streams together. Keffel's got a temporarily suspended from Twitch because she did a expose on the harassment she was receiving, and because she literally showed language that's banned on Twitch, but she was showing it in the context of the things that were said to her, and she got temporarily suspended for it. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. I'm just going through. All right. We think we got everything here. All the super chats. All right. To all the new patrons, patrons, I should say, patreon.com/MattBinder. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, and you can financially do so, again, I never want anyone to do it if they don't have extra money they'd like to give me. Take care of yourself, your family first. This is a pure pleasure spend if you want. Patreon.com/MattBinder to support the show and all the work I do. Again, thank you so much to the viewers and the listeners and patrons who helped make what went on today via the Scam Economy episode and my exclusive report on the Helium Lime situation possible. I can't thank you guys enough. To the people who rated me, Amy EC3 and Keffels, thank you so much. And to their audience, thank you for joining. And I hope you joining in on the stream. And I hope you subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I go live. I think you guys will enjoy my stuff. If you enjoy Amy EC3 and Keffels, I should really start doing more like doubling up with people who I regularly raid and people who raid me and actually do streams together. Gotta do more of that. What else? Yeah, I think I name dropped everything. I shout out the patrons. YouTube.com/MattBinder. If you're watching on Twitch, but you're also on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/MattBinder, twitch.tv/MattBinder, at MattBinder on Twitter. Search for me at MattBinder on Instagram. But if you MattBinder search, you'll probably find me on any social media. I usually stream every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday is my show on the far right, conspiracy theories, misinformation, reactionary movements, and all around dystopian stuff. The show is called Doomed with Matt Binder. It's Tuesdays, usually at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursdays is my anti-crypto show called Scam Economy. Usually, but it was pushed back to Friday this week because of my story had developing things that I needed the extra day to work on. You could check out that show, scameconomy.com. And it's also on YouTube, youtube.com/MattBinder. What else? I think I dropped everything else you need to know about me. For now, at least. Oh, and I usually can find me on the Majority Report on Thursdays as well. Around the fun half, that's the show. Who should I raid? Always want to pay it forward. Who should I raid, folks? Who we raiding? That's right. Who we raiding? Let's see who's on. Give me some suggestions. Let's see who's on. Someone I personally always love to raid someone who does great work but just doesn't get the attention they deserve. So I always, if you want to give me someone new, and also they have to be on, obviously. Raid Jordan Peterson. Oh boy. Up your... First I gotta say, Kermit the Frog here to get into the Jordan Peterson mode. Kermit the Frog. I ain't even that good at the Kermit voice. Kermit the Frog here. That's a little bit better. Oh, that's a little bit better. Kermit the Frog here. Up yours, woke moralists. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Sunshine. Up yours, woke moralists. I think I do too bad it doesn't sound like Mickey Mouse. I think I do a better Mickey Mouse. Haha. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Haha. Maybe my Kermit's better. I don't know. Donald James says, I see Matt has diligence with his content. Good job. Yes, I mean, I hate talking myself up, but I think that does make me unique in terms of I do bring a little bit of a more of a journalistic element to the streams because I also do journalism. I'm just not like a commentator. Who's Tofu Ghost? What do they do? Who's Jordan with the Ark of Covenant? That's not showing up. Where's Tofu Ghost do? Oh, let me do Sons of Bitches. Oh, I gotta do that. I got Kermit the Frog here. Up yours, woke moralists. Sons of bitches. Sons of bitches. Not bad. Not bad, actually. I'm actually a little bit impressed with myself. Oh, we got more people here. Kermit the Frog here. Mickey was better, says Emmy. All right. Raid Christina. Oh, I'm familiar with her on Twitter. I don't know if I've ever raided her before. I will definitely do Tofu ghosts. Next time you let me know what they do, I'll be happy to. Just because I like to, not knocking other creators, but I like to, this is a political audience mostly, so I'd like to make sure the audience is going to a similar show. But that's not always the case. But let me raid Christina. That's a great idea, because I should raid her. Let's get that raid going. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to follow the Twitch channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, patreon.com/MattBinder, once again, if you can and would like to. Otherwise, I will see you all next time on either Doomed or the Scam Economy or one of the post-show live streams or whatever. Just, I hope to see you all next time. Have a great night, everybody, and stick around for the raid if you're on Twitch.